Spiritual Gumbo. Holy attire. Where we left off at. So we actually did a little review, and I didn't get too caught up in everything. I just kind of just hit off in different little particular points. Um, Having said that, the last chapter was actually about the tabernacle, right? And then and really it's just giving us everything in sequential order. It's telling the people how to make the ark, what it's supposed to look like, telling Moses, and Moses is going to relay to the people what the ark's going to look like, how you're going to make it, how it's going to be formed, what type of wood you're going to use, i.e. incorruptible wood, how many rings they're going to use for the curtains, how the dimensions or the measurements of the curtains, what each one is going to be made out of, i.e. the golden rings have the fine linen, and the brazen rings have the animal skins, the dyed animal skins. The tabernacle of witness also has a, well, I don't know if if you could, it's an attachment to it, or it pretty much goes with it, because it's where they do the sacrifice and where they do all the cooking at, and it even breaks down all the different cooking instruments that they would have, or that they would make, or what they would make space for. Having said that, uh, now we're at the part where, like I said, this is the spiritual gumbo for the holy attire, and it speaks to several different things right now. So once again, uh, I read this so that way. Number one, I'm learning. That's the my first and most important thing to me, is so that way I gain from it what it is that the Most High God wants me to gain from it. You know, the close secondary to my primary mission is to make sure that the people get the information. Um, Having said that, just because the Most High God gave people a mind to think doesn't mean He gave them a mind to disagree with His rules. Right on, you know, like you understand what I'm saying? Like the laws aren't made so that way the people can dispute the laws. The laws are made so that way they can be followed. You know, and whether or not a person has a mind to think on their own is totally irrelevant to the Most High God. Because check this out. Listen to this. Verse 1 of chapter 28. And do thou take to thyself both Aaron, thy brother, and his sons, and even them of the children of Israel, so that Aaron and Abiud and Nadab and Abiud and Eleazar and Ithamar, sons of Aaron, may minister to me. Verse 2. And thou shalt make holy apparel for Aaron thy brother, for honor and glory. And speak thou to all those who are wise and understanding, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom and perception. So stop right there. You see how the Most High God He didn't say go to the most creative, right? Go to free thinkers, right? No, He said go to those that are wise and understanding. Right. Exactly. Who the Most High God says what? I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom and perception. So it's not that they did anything to be the way that they are. They're not special because they chose to be special. They're not wise because they chose to be wise. Hell, they don't even have understanding because they gained it all on their own fruition. The Most High God gave them these things, right? So I would be no different if you were to compare how I understand, or what you think I understand. All the things that I have are gifts from the Most High God. That's point blank period. And so when people get frustrated, they have to recognize that whatever He's given you, He may not have given me. Right on. And you have to appreciate that and respect that. You know, um, having said that, do I feel that I've been given the spirit of of wisdom and perception? Yes, I think he's filled me with that. So much so that I can read this to you and I can understand what's going on. And I can tell you the story without getting caught in all the gobbledygook of reading one piece of a scripture and trying to tell you that this actually means something that it doesn't, like pastors do. Going forward. And they shall make holy apparel of Aaron for the sanctuary, in which apparel he shall minister to me as priest. So this is just to follow on with the tabernacle. And if you guys understand, his clothes are going to match the tabernacle. Right. Just listen to everything that's going to be used, and his clothes are going to actually match the tabernacle. Verse 4. And these are the garments which they shall make: the breastplate and the shoulder piece, full length robe. So, the hood and comes down. And I'm assuming that the breastplate and the shoulder piece obviously go under. The robe goes underneath the breastplate and the shoulder piece, so that way you can show the people what you have. Having said that, let's just keep it pushing. And a tunic with the fringe, and the tire and the girdle, and they shall make holy garments for Aaron. So not only is he going to have the robe, which is more like it's not a cloak exactly, but a robe just goes over the tunic, the tire, and the girdle are now are almost like pants. You know what I mean? And a suit that go underneath the robe. That's his suit underneath the robe. If you get what I'm saying, you know. And all this stuff is going to be made out of the same fine linen, the blue, the purple, and the scarlet. Okay. Where are we at? Verse 5. And they shall take the gold, and the blue, the purple, and the scarlet, and the fine linen, and they shall make the piece of fine linen spun, the woven work of the embroiderer. It shall have two shoulder pieces joined together. So so pretty much the shoulder plate pieces are gonna be joined by the fine linen, held on like that, right? So, and I know people have seen like the shoulder plates where they have like, it's normally like a chain that holds them together, but the fine linen is that's why it's gonna be embroidered a certain way, it's braided, right? So that way it can be held. Give me one moment. Or was it just there? Verse 7. It shall have two shoulder pieces joined together, fastened on the two sides, and the woven work of the shoulder pieces which is upon it shall be one piece, and the woven work of the shoulder pieces which is upon it shall be one piece. So it's not going to be two different cords that are attached. It's going to be one cord that holds them both together. And the woven work of the shoulder which is upon it shall be one piece according to the work of pure gold, and blue, and purple, and spun scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take the two stones, the stones of emerald, and thou shalt grave on them the names of the children of Israel. So stop right there. This is why they had to get this. Once again, this is why the Most High God asked or instructed, charged Moses to charge the people to make sure when you leave, spoil ye the Egyptians. You see what I'm saying? Because he had plans to do things with these. He had plans to do things with these things. People are like, why do you keep repeating yourself over and over? I'm like, because the scripture is repetitive. And the scripture repeats itself, hoping that people are going to understand and accept what they're hearing, or what they're seeing, or what they're reading, depending on the context and circumstance and situation. Verse 7. And it shall have two shoulder pieces joined together, fastened on the two sides. And the woven work on the shoulder which is upon it shall be one piece according to the work of pure gold, and blue, and purple, and spun scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take the 2 stones, the stones of emerald, and thou shalt grave on the names of of them the names of the children of Israel. 6 names on the first stone, and the other 6 names on the second, according to their births. Um, I can't name everybody off rip, but I know the first 4 for sure. You know what I mean? Which is why I always stress the elder tribes. Um, um, Levi, Simeon, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah. I was just going to name off the 4 elders, but this is why Judah and Levi, the third and the fourth child, are actually the more important of the tribes when you talk about their elderhood, because they're the only ones who, in so many essences, aren't considered to have like fallen off the way that these guys did before they were even in their land. Um, Reuben by reason of sleeping with his father's woman, and then Simeon by reason of coercing his younger brother to commit an act of wanton violence. Um, and because he was the elder, he was held more accountable. Having said that, let's go ahead and keep reading. Verse 11. It shall be the work of the stone engraver's art. As the graving of the seal, thou shalt engrave the two stones with the name of the children of Israel. And thou shalt put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the shoulder pieces, which are the memorial stones for the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel before the Lord on his 2 shoulders, a memorial for them. See what I'm saying? Do you see that right there? You see how gangster that is? He's got this gold that has emerald on it. It's got blue. It's got the purple. It's got the scarlet with the fine twined linen. Come on. It's all decked out. It's all decked out. Verse 12. And thou shalt put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the shoulder piece. They are they are memorial stones for the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel before the Lord on his 2 shoulders, a memorial for them. And thou shalt make circlets of pure gold. And thou shalt make 2 fringes of pure gold, variegated with flowers, wreathen work. So you're going to make fringes that look like flowers and wreaths. One moment. Alarm went off. Forgive me. Okay, where are we at? Um, variegated. Variegated. There we go. Verse 13. So it's saying that the fringes are going to be not like regular fringes that you would just put on the clothes and hold them together. They're going to look like flowers and wreaths and stuff like that. So they're going to be fancy, and they're going to be made of gold. Where are we at? Verse 14. And thou shalt make the 2 fringes of pure gold variegated with flowers, wreathen work. And thou shalt put the wreathen fringes on the circlets, fastening them on their shoulder pieces in the front. And thou shalt make the oracle of judgment, the work of the embroiderer. In keeping with the ephod, thou shalt make of it gold, and blue, and purple, and spun scarlet, and fine linen spun. Thou shalt make it square. It shall be double. Of a pan, the length of it, thou shalt make it square. It shall be double. Of a span, the length of it, and of a span, the breadth. So it's saying that what it's going to sit on, right on, is going to be double the size of the ephod. You understand what I'm talking about? So it's going to be to where it can be totally on top of it. and also made out of the same thing. So everything is matching. Everything is matching. Do y'all get that? Everything is matching. Verse 16. Thou shalt make it square. It shall be double of a span the length of it, and of a span the breadth. And thou shalt interweave with it a texture of 4 rows of stone. There shall be rows of stone, a sardius, a topaz, an emerald, the first row. The second row, carbuncle, a sapphire, a jasper. The third row, a ligwire, an agate, an amethyst. The fourth row, chrysolite, and beryl, and onyx stone, set round about with gold, bound together with gold. Let them be according to the row. Stop right there. Did you hear that? Did you hear all the different stones? Like, and I don't know this to be true, but I would assume if you got all those the purity of the stone would matter. The level of energy that's going to be created with all this gold and silver and stuff around each other is an incredible amount of energy. And these stones are other forms of conduit of energy, of energies. So I just wonder what there's a purpose for this, and I couldn't tell you, but there's a spectral purpose, one that involves frequency, that there's a reason why this happens like this. The reason why they're being told to do it all like this is for a reason of spectra and frequency. Okay. And are you guys getting this? So they're gonna build the ephod, right? And they're gonna build this plate that it's gonna sit on, and it's pretty much saying that it's gonna have built onto it or built throughout it, right? Which is why I think it's double the span, right? Because you have the 4 rows of the stones, and I'm not saying that there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side, but that's kind of how I'm visualizing it. And it's like, bam, you got these stones on this side, these stones on this side, and who knows what kind of energy conduit thing is going. It's an amazing concept, it really is. Really is, and that's the part where people have to really that's what I'm looking for. They have to accept that. They have to accept that. That's just what it is. Where we at? Verse 21. And let the stones, all of the names of the children of Israel be 12 according to their names. And let the stones of the names of the children of Israel be 12 according to their names, engraving as of seals. So you see how there's the 4 rows and there's of stones, and each row has 3 different types of stones, right? So I couldn't tell you who each one represents and what power that is, or what's that supposed to be symbolically. I don't know. We could start from the very first one and say that uh what is it? Who's the very first We could say that the sardius, the topaz, and the emerald are representative of Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and then the second row is a carbuncle, sapphire, and jasper. Then you have Judah. Oh my goodness! I know that Issachar I want to say, is the last born of Leah's children. I can't think of the fifth one right now, and I don't want to tell you the wrong dude. It's not Gad. It's not Dan. Acer. I'm pretty sure it's Acer. I'm almost positive it's Acer. Um, and so then you would have that. So that's them, and then you would have in the. So see, okay, now here's the thing though. I don't know if Simeon's included, because remember, Simeon is not called one of the tribes. So let me fall back on that. You see what I'm saying? You see why that's so cold? You see why that's shrewd operation by the Most High God? That's cold, y'all. That's cold, you know. And I mean, I guess that's what he gets, but man, he's not counted, and it doesn't matter because it matters, but for Joseph it doesn't matter because he has 2 sons that are adopted into the tribes. right? And they're both considered tribes of Israel. Come on, man. How that work? Anyway, um, that's the type of thing that I always be wondering about. Sometimes I'll be like, man, how did Simeon get such a raw deal, man? You know, you would be surprised how much that really bothers me. Where are we at? Verse 22. And thou shalt make of on the oracle woven fringes, a chair work of pure gold. And Aaron shall take the names of the children of Israel on the oracle of judgment on his breast, a memorial before God for him as he goes into the sanctuary. And thou shalt put the fringes on the oracle of judgment. And thou shalt put the wreaths on both sides of the oracle. And thou shalt put the two circlets on both the shoulders of the ephod in the front. And thou shalt put the manifestation and the truth on the oracle of judgment. And right here by manifestation is the Urim and Thummim on the oracle of judgment. And thou shalt be on the breast of Aaron, and it shall be on the breast of Aaron when he goes into the holy place before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgments of the children of Israel on his breast before the Lord continually. So not only is he going to have their names, but now he's going to have their names on the front. And I'm pretty sure the way that is having is that it's the oracle of judgment. So I'm not sure what the judgments are, but that's to where he can be. It's a symbol of judgment that he's always going to have on him, right on. And he's a holy priest. Once again, people need to understand Aaron's an old man at this point. He's not some thundercat. You know what I'm talking about? So, people have to have that into context and need to really understand that and put that in their minds. There's a lot of different little things that actually do go into play. Where we at? Verse 27. And thou shalt make the full length tunic of all blue. The full length tunic. Note that this one is called full length, right on, and it's not just a tunic because I've known of other tunic. That's why I said a tunic is not a dress, right on, or a robe. It's like a shirt that comes down and it goes to a certain point. Sometimes past your knees, sometimes just right above it. Well, hold on though, and that's all blue. And the opening of it shall be in the middle, and the opening of it shall be in the middle, having a fringe round about the opening. And the work of the weaver woven together in the joining of the same plate of the same piece, that it might not be rent. So stop right there. So what they're saying is that when it's put together and it has the fringe, so fringes act like buttons or like a fastener, you see. So what he's saying is that the opening of it is going to be in the middle of the actual tunic, right on. And so they have it fastened in the back, I'm assuming, not just the front part, but the back part of it. So that way when he puts it on, it doesn't tear, it doesn't rend. You see what I'm talking about? Word. And they also could be saying that it might be knotted like that in the front, so that way he can't do something crazy also. But I assume it's just so that way when he puts it on, it doesn't rip. Oh my goodness. Verse 29. And under the fringe of the robe below, thou shalt make it as it were pomegranates of a flowering pomegranate tree, of blue and purple and spun scarlet and fine linen spun, under the fringe of the robe round about. So they're gonna have like these you know what a pomegranate looks like. It looks like an orb almost, right? And that's gonna be at the bottom, and it's gonna be all these different colors. And under the fringe of the robe round about, golden pomegranates of the same shape, and bells between these, and a bell by the side of a golden pomegranate, and flower work on the fringe of the robe round about. And the sound of Aaron shall be audible when he ministers, as he goes into the sanctuary before the Lord, and as he goes out, that he die not. Listen. listen, listen. That's so that way, if the Most High is in there, because right, this is where he gets to just hold up if he just wants to, right? He's like, I will kill somebody for coming up in here who's not supposed to be in here. I will straight take them up out. And Aaron included. Aaron is not, he's like, Aaron is not tax exempt from getting touched. So he has to have these bells on him so that way he can make himself known to the Most High or make himself known to the Messiah, right on, whoever it would be. Or both of them if they both happen to be in there for whatever reason. I couldn't think of I could think of a reason, but the reason's not appropriate and germane to this subject matter. So we'll wait for a later day for that. But but yeah, Aaron. Even Aaron has to. He you see what I'm saying? Even they that's a safety mechanism to keep him from getting touched by the Most High. Let's go ahead and keep it reading. We're almost done. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and thou shalt grave on it as the graving of a signet, holiness of the Lord. So they're going to grave on it, holiness of the Lord. And thou shalt put it on the spun blue cloth, and it shall be on the mitre, which is like a hat, and it shall be in the front of the mitre, and it shall be on the forehead of Aaron. And Aaron shall bear away the sins, and Aaron shall bear away the sins of their holy things. All that the children of Israel shall sanctify of every gift of their holy things, and it shall be on the forehead of Aaron continually, acceptable for them before the Lord. So I I'm not sure if it's saying that the things that they're not supposed to have or whatever, because it doesn't make it clear, right? And as it says, when we read it, it says it just like it says as it says. It says, um, and Aaron shall bear away the sins of their holy things. So whatever the holy things are, I'm assuming would be put on the it shall be put on the spun blue cloth, right on. So this is also saying like the holiness of holies, but this is outside of that. So this is on his mitre, the holiness of holies, right? And I'm just trying to say that whatever that is, whatever that's supposed to represent, has to do something with the holy things, right on, that Aaron is bearing for like a sin. I don't. It's almost as if he's bearing their sins in a sense. I don't know how to put it in a better sense because it that's the way it seems to me. Um, and once again, I'll just read it again. Um, and it shall be on the forehead of Aaron, and Aaron shall bear away the sins of their holy things. All that the children of Israel shall sanctify of every gift of their holy things. So whatever their holy things are, I'm assuming that it's something similar that could be likened to what is put down as the holiness of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I'm trying to. I'm trying my best. I understand what I'm trying to say, but I don't. It's not coming out the way that I understand it, and that's truly shameful. Which can keep it pushing. Um, where we at? Verse 35. And the fringes of the garments shall be of fine linen. So this is his actual clothes that he's wearing. And thou shalt make the attire of fine linen, and thou shalt make a girdle of the work. And the tire is pretty much is the thing that goes around the tunic, yo. You know, like around like the actual like waist part, and the girdle is what you wear underneath it. You know, um, where we at? And thou shalt make a girdle the work of the embroiderer. And for the sons of Aaron, thou shalt make tunics and girdles, and thou shalt make for them tires for honor and glory. And thou shalt put them on Aaron thy brother. And thou shalt put them on Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him. And thou shalt anoint them, and fill their hands. And thou shalt sanctify them, that they may minister to me in the priest office. And thou shalt make for them linen drawers to cover the nakedness of their flesh. They shall reach from the loins to the thighs. And Aaron shall have them, and his sons, whenever they enter into the tabernacle of witness, or when they shall advance to the altar of the sanctuary to minister. So they shall not bring sin upon themselves, lest they die. It is a perpetual statute for him, and for his seed after him. Excuse me. So, do y'all remember that part where it's like during like the part of the Ten Commandments, or like just like right after that, and it's talking about like the the altar of witness and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And like how like the Most High is like, you're not gonna uncover your nakedness on the altar. So it's just presumptuous that people didn't have undergarments on all the time. And so the Most High is like, no, you're not gonna be up here ministering to me, and your nakedness get exposed out of nowhere. He's like, I'm going to have to take you out, homie. So to keep that from being an issue, right? Don't do that. I just love it. It is classic. It's classic. Need y'all understand this how long it takes to read one chapter. Break it down. Try to read it. And let's just go over this last part again, just so that way I can try to make sure that I'm not tripping. But it sounds like what I said with the miter thing. And if you guys see it differently, let me know. And thou shalt put it. Oh, let's go back. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold. Verse 32. Make, and thou shalt grave on it the gravening of his signet, holiness of holy. So this is a plate. And thou shalt put it on the spun cloth, on the spun blue cloth, and let it be on the miter. So this is a plate that's on the miter. So this is a golden plate that's on the miter, that's on the actual hat that Aaron's going to wear. And it shall be on the forehead of Aaron. So wherever the miter's at, like the actual signet would be on his forehead, right? Bang, bang, bang. And on the forehead of Aaron, continually acceptable for them before the Lord. So I think, right, I think he's actually supposed to be bearing their sins in a sense, like, like, like I'm answering for them. You get what I'm saying? That's why the priests are supposed to do the sacrifice. That's why they're supposed to be the ones to do all that. Um, it makes sense when I that makes more sense when I say it like that to you. That he's literally supposed to bear the weight for them. That's his job. That his sons don't get the same type of setup. They just get tunics with the tires around it with the nice little thing that goes around, right? You know what I mean? That's it. And a girdle for their glory, right? So that means that a lot of people were probably just running around in robes, you know. So not to say that people were running around naked or anything like that, but clearly seeing someone's nakedness was not uncommon, because the Most High God is like, I don't want that to be an issue. Right. Otherwise I gotta take you up out of here. Right. However, my people, appreciate your time. Thank you. And we will do this again later. Spiritual Gumbo out.